read these short accounts of this runaway cow who was seen around the area traveling with a herd of deer. And I just thought, this is a really unusual story. And so I started clipping these news articles, and it just jumped out at me that this would make a really interesting children's book about how these different types of animals came to be friends and travel together. And so I decided to write my first children's book about Wilhelmina.
I read the whole story when it was pretty much done, and I came up with the illustrations from there.
And how do you know about, I mean, you're very talented. I'm looking at the beautiful illustrations, but did you have something in your mind that just popped in and said, this is what the cow is going to look like? Or did you go off of what the real Wilhelmina looked like?
I've been working with cows for a few years now, so actually a lot of the Wilhelminas in the book are taken from pictures of Jersey cows I've worked with. So even though she's not a Jersey cow, she's an Angus.
She's an Angus.
Yes.
I thought so.
I still worked with a lot of cows.
The story about the runaway cow is a story about searching for our true home. So many of us as adults understand this need to leave our familiar pasture to find our true home. Sometimes it takes us away from where we started. When I read the story in the newspapers about the runaway cow who traveled for 5 months with a herd of deer, I knew there was a special story waiting to be retold, that it was a story for children as well as for adults about learning to accept ourselves, accept our differences, accept others' differences, and I knew it was a story about our search for our true home. I had no idea when I wrote the story just how powerfully it would affect people, from little kids up to old folks. I have heard from so many people of every age telling me how much they love the story of Wilhelmina and how much they relate to it. Katie Rundy and I have poured a lot of our love, a lot of our time, and a lot of our resources into making the book happen and building an audience and fan base for it here in Connecticut. Unfortunately, we don't have the resources to take Wilhelmina Goes Wandering to the next level. That's why we're doing this Kickstarter campaign, hoping that we can interest enough people in the story of the runaway cow that will support our project and let us introduce Wilhelmina to a much wider audience. We need to raise money for copies of the book. We actually have to pay to get copies of our own book printed. Posters, postcards, the things that are needed to do a serious publicity campaign, and to hire an experienced children's book publicist. We believe that this is the key to broadening the audience for Wilhelmina, to helping to turn Wilhelmina into America's cow heroine. We believe America is ready for a cow hero, and we think Wilhelmina fits that bill perfectly. I hope you'll agree, and I hope you'll consider supporting our project. We have some fun rewards for your support, including jars of jam and tomato sauce that I will make myself. Farmer John is a big gardener and canner and jarrer of good, yummy things. So please look at our campaign and think about it, and I hope that you'll enjoy Wilhelmina Goes Wandering and share her story with your friends and your fans. Thank you very much.